Wholesalers, consider this before quitting. My name is Rick Ginn, and I've been wholesaling 21 years, and I know exactly what you're thinking about quitting, and I want to share with you why you're thinking that way, the tools to correct your thinking, and most importantly, why you should never quit wholesaling. But before I get into it, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button so you can continue to receive the best up-to-date information on wholesaling today. You're considering quitting, and guess what? You're not in the minority. In fact, you're in the majority of wholesalers. The reality is most people come into wholesaling with such optimism, excitement, and enthusiasm. And don't get me wrong, it is well deserved. But most of the time, you just didn't get the truth. Now, the first thing you gotta figure out is, how did you get into wholesaling? Were you sucked in by a guru ad? Or was somebody on the beach telling you how simple it is, or walking through their office telling you they did 30 or 40 deals this month? That's probably how you wound up in the business. And the problem is you only saw the good and you didn't see all the hard work, all the pain that has to go into it, and honestly, the grit, the extreme dedication it takes to get in this business. So let's work on unwinding it, giving you the truth, and sharing with you the tools so you can prosper and not quit in wholesaling. So honestly, did you really think wholesaling was going to be easy? As easy as these ads, these gurus tell you? The reality, that's called marketing, and wholesalers are the best of it. So why do you think a guru wouldn't give you a spin on a marketing piece? Why? Marketing is the number one skill set a wholesaler has to figure out. And you got to figure it out early, because that's how you connect with motivated sellers and get great wholesaling deals. The problem is they use this exact strategy against you, because honestly, it's much easier to flip students than it is to flip houses. It's scalable. You can actually flip thousands of students versus maybe a couple hundred houses on the highest end operation. And that's why a lot of you got sucked into it. But don't worry, we're going to fix it, because I believe in wholesaling. I've been doing it 21 years. I got sucked in like a lot of you. And I want you to understand it's not the end of the world. I want you to think about this. Think back when you were a child and somebody taught you to ride a bike. Most likely your parents, your father, whoever it was. And think about it. Did they force? There's two types of schools of thoughts. If they tried to force the bike riding on and you were scared of it, it usually took forever, if not years. Or if you're like the other part, like I was, I begged my dad for years. I want to learn to ride a bike. I want to learn to ride a bike. I even hopped on a bike and tore my knee up before I even got any help. So I was so excited when someone took the time to teach me how to ride a bike. I was willing to do anything. I mean, if I broke a leg, I just didn't care. And you got to understand, the first and second and third time I fell off the bike, it really hurt. And honestly, it scared the crap out of me. But I remembered in my mind, I want to ride the bike just like all the other kids. They were having such a good time, I had to do it. And you know what? I kept doing it. Now, it took me a couple days. I think 2 or 3 days when I can recall. But it was one of the proudest moments of my life, because it was like the first thing I really conquered in life. And I want you to understand, wholesaling is no different. If you take the bike riding analogy, you can read a book on theory on bike riding, you can watch videos, but at some point, you got to get on that bike, skin up your knees, toughen it up. There's going to be a few tears, your feelings are going to get hurt. But that is the journey of wholesaling. But somehow you guys secretly thought you were going to get into wholesaling without skinning your knee, without getting your feelings hurt. And truly, you just thought it was going to be a piece of cake. The truth is, there is no shortcuts in wholesaling. Any type of shortcut you get in wholesaling, or I got the latest trick, or I've got the 2.2 or the 3.0 of wholesaling, it's just a marketing gimmick. And now you know it. So if you know you got to do the hard work, let's dive in and get it done. Let's show you why you don't want to quit wholesaling. See, the only way you fail in this business is when you quit. Remember, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. He failed 10,000 times before he figured it out on how to make the light bulb work. And you know what he said? He goes, it was just 10,000 learning opportunities. And so if you look at your failures as opportunities towards your growth in wholesaling, you will actually embrace it. But so many of you guys take the mindset of like when you were in school, oh, I failed the test, I got a bad grade, it's terrible. No. Life is about experience. The more times you participate and fail, you're going to get an outcome and you're going to get a lesson. And that lesson is what builds your character, your experiences, your knowledge, and eventually your wisdom to be an amazing wholesaler. Guys, I skinned my knees so bad out in my first 2 years of wholesaling. I don't even know how I didn't quit. Now, did I think about quitting? Absolutely. And what I want to do is share with you some tips on how you can better evaluate to survive and keep going on in wholesaling. Listen, deals are going to fall apart. People are going to cuss you out. Your feelings are going to get hurt. A lot of strange things are going to happen to you. But If you're committed to wholesaling and you want to change your life and you want freedom, not only financially, but freedom of your time, you have to hang in there. The only way you fail is quitting. And quitting is for losers. I'm sorry. I'm just going to give you the truth the way it is. So the first thing you got to understand is stop trying to get outside endorsement for your wholesaling career. You're not going to get it. In fact, 95% of them are going to be against you. And here's the reality. A lot of it's going to be your family, your friends. You know why? Because they're going to tell you what serves their interest best, not yours. So if you've dedicated yourself to resolve and you want to make the change and your belief is backed by your conviction's your body armor. You're not going to let anyone get through it. You got to move forward. I'm sorry, your friends and family are the first ones that are going to take you out. And if you don't survive that one, you're never going to make it in wholesaling. So once you get past that step, you then have to understand your expectation has to be corrected. So when you started out in wholesaling, you start go, okay, well, I'll have to do this much work and this is what it's going to be. And then the reality kicks in. This is what you thought. And then this is what you have to do. And you're just in shock. I get it. You weren't told the truth and you're stuck. You're like, oh my God, it's so much more than what I ever expected. Here's the rule. It's going to take 10 times whatever you thought your expectation was. And if a guru brought you in, it could be 30, 40 times what your expectation, because your expectation was set so low because it was easy. Why was it easy? Because they wanted to get paid. So when they get paid, they make it super simple and easy. Everybody signs up. But the reality is that's not the truth. So let's work on correcting that. So start with your expectation. The next one is you have to ask yourself, how do I measure in the beginning? Because I feel like everything I do doesn't add up. Because I measure myself on the amount of contracts I've written and the amount of deals I close. Well, in the reality, in the beginning, you're not going to be good at it. You're actually probably going to have 0 in each column. And when you get 0, it deflates you. And that's what's causing you to think about quitting. So I want you to look at this in a different way. We're looking at inputs versus outputs. Your outputs is going to be the number of contracts you write and also the number of deals you close and sell to your cash buyers. Obviously, you're watching this video, it's probably close to 0, maybe 1, but it's deflating. You're like, Rick, I can't push that number. That is a hard number to push in the beginning, and you're focusing on the end result. And what you need to do is focus on your input. See, input over output will make a tremendous difference on your motivation to keep going in wholesaling. What do I do about inputs? Your inputs is how many contacts have you made today? And you want to start building it. So if you called 200 people and you made 25 contacts, that's 25 and you build on it. You see, you've got to look at your daily activity. How many people you're contacting? How many lists are you pulling? How many new lead sources did you find? How many people did you engage a positive conversation with? How many people didn't hang up on you today? Or how many people did hang up on you? So I would center my activity, my KPIs, my key performance index, not on outputs, but inputs, because you control your inputs, and the greater the effort, the greater likelihood of you pushing that output number and getting deals in wholesaling. But you're measuring on numbers that you're not pushing the needle and it deflates you. So what I want you to do is focus on inputs, the daily activity of what you do in wholesaling, specifically in marketing and pulling lists and your contact rate with any type of motivated seller. If you push these numbers, it will change your momentum and it will charge you. Because listen, this isn't a paycheck. We are not at the corporate world. You're not getting a paycheck on Friday, but you will get paid based on your productivity. And your productivity is all a direct result of your inputs, your leads, your list, the amount of people talk to, the amount of people that you go visit, the amount of driving for dollars you do, the reverse driving for dollars. Do you get my point on it? Input versus output will change your outlook on staying the course in wholesaling. Along that line too is here's a KPI that no other guru is going to give you. I'm just going to give you the truth. If you're going to be accountable to yourself, ask yourself at the end of the day, did you give your absolute best for the day? Did you? Is it a yes or no? And be honest. And if you didn't do, find out where you failed, where you fell short, what distracted you, what took you out, and address it and fix it. I would actually encourage you to keep a journal on this because it will motivate you. And tomorrow's a new day and you just go back and you reattack. Listen, we have good days and bad days, but the question is, did you put your best effort forward today? And then once you start stacking those wins, you start pushing the input numbers, don't worry, the contracts, the deals, they're coming, but you got to drive the needle on the things you are most control, your attitude and your effort in wholesaling. Remember guys, if you're thinking about quitting, that's the easy button. It's easy to quit. There's no effort, just quit. But ask yourself, how many other things have you quit in your life? And are you tired of quitting and starting over? And if the answer is, I'm sick and tired of doing this, suck it up, buttercup. Let's move forward in wholesaling because you're not a quitter. Quitting is easy. Staying the path and fighting through. Who cares how long it takes you to be successful in wholesaling? It is up to you, and you have to strive forward and use the tools I'm sharing with you today. So I'm going to give you one last trick that works wonders in wholesaling that will help you keep on focus. So if you've ever thought about quitting, here's what I want you to do. Picture yourself when you're 80 years old. Maybe you're sitting in your most comfortable chair. You're sitting on the couch in a rocking chair. Think about it. Guys, it's coming. And by the time you turn 80, say 90-ish, people have nothing but their memories and their thoughts in their head. Hopefully you're active and you're healthy, but the reality is you run through the course gamut of life and it goes quickly. I mean, 20 some odd years ago, my son's sitting on my lap and now he's a grown man. So I know how fast this goes. Are you going to have any regrets when you're an old man or woman sitting in your rocking chair? And remember, nobody ever regrets the things that they finished and moved forward with. There's never a regret. I've never had a regret with the things I finished and moved forward. The only regrets you build are the things you quit. And the last thing I want you to do is if you think when you're sitting in this chair, oh, I did this wholesaling thing, but it got hard and I quit. And I probably could have been a multimillionaire. I could have changed the trajectory of my entire family, but I just quit. Stop. Rick just inserted this video. Picture yourself there now. Go there now. Because if you ever visit anybody with wisdom and age, the first thing they'll usually tell you is their biggest regrets in life. And I'm trying to stop you from making that mistake. So, if Thomas Edison swung the bat 10,000 times, everybody only remembers him for his one victory. And it was a monumental victory. What's the difference with you? I know you've tried a lot of things. I know you're tired of working in the corporate world. So what? Other stuff didn't work out. What has to work out is your effort to finish the job and get there. I was in your exact same shoes 21 years ago today. And because I decided to stick it out, I took tough times. I got my feelings hurt. I got my knees skinned. I had people call me nasty names. I had people hang up on me. This is why I'm in front of you in the camera. You see, people that persevere, everybody wants to be in their shoes. The reality is you're going through the fight right now. No one's giving you the credit, give you the time. Nobody even acknowledged my success till 7 years in the wholesaling. And I was fine with it. The question is, you are not going to have a crowd cheering for you. I already talked about in the beginning of this video. You are not going to get the credit you deserve, and you're not going to get instantly financially rewarded. Remember, I always teach you to run a marathon. Running a sprint is for losers, quitters. If you are not a loser or a quitter, stick to it. You have the tools. Think of yourself in your 80 or 90-year-old self and think back of the things that you stuck to and you stuck it out. Listen, anything worthwhile in life, it's going to be hard. The question is you get to choose your heart, and quitting is easy. Sticking through wholesaling is hard. The only way you fail is by quitting. I know you're not a quitter. Go out there and get it. Go over to freewholesaling.com. We'll share the tips with you. Jump on our live streams. Go over to Flip with Rick. I'm here to help you, support you. Me and Zach are the only ones that give 100% of our content free, and I want you to benefit. I'm trying to create a legacy for you and me, and it all starts with you not quitting. So please go back, watch this video, burn it in your brain. You are not a quitter. And guys, if you got value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop in the comments and tell me you are not a quitter. This is Rick Ginn. I'll see you in the next video. See you guys.